Hit the road, Jack.
We are up. Rhythm music, that's good. That's a bumper. You're getting it? Oh, I can't hear it. I meant the singing. Yeah.
The connection will
Vocal
improve
stylings.
as the streaming goes.
Now, I've deliberately asked 0 questions about Origin so far, so it's all
It's all on the up and up.
my reactions are genuine.
Up and the move.
All right. Well, there we go. Let me just give a quick audio check. Make sure
Quick
we're doing
listen
good.
in, so
We
can confirm that people can hear us.
Yes, yes. All right. So, everybody doing all right out there?
All right, we should probably be giving you audio to listen in on.
You should, yes. Audio would be nice.
Once upon a time, there was this giant of a man.
Giant.
Little grungy looking beard.
Scruffy nerd herder, as it were.
I need to find a picture. There's this DJ called Thunderbird in Brazil. He looks so much like him. It's crazy.
That's funny.
No. Cool. So, let's see. Mr. Dan, welcome. We haven't seen each other for a month now, so that's been a little while.
It has been a spell. Seems like less by the magic of YouTube, but yeah, that's those.
Yeah, it does. Considering we have a show coming out tomorrow night, right? So that isn't exactly fair to say. And then we have Mr. Gil Melo, who's joining us. So
I'm not here. It's just a green screen. Oh no.
oh, it's totally you. So look, I even have lower thirds for you.
CGI. Yeah, I'll CGI it
See,
in.
we're fancy. I'm doing the button monkey for Dan tonight. So we got this going on. We're going to play some Bosk tonight. Teach you guys how to play that.
No one here.
So speaking of Origins, this was kind of a pickup there that I did. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Now, did you know about this going in? Were you already hyped for this, or did you discover this was a con discovery?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Heard the buzz. I'm not huge on area control games. I have very few that hang out because they tend to be very difficult to have like around and played consistently because the group I play with is very small. Hence why El Grande is no longer around, things like that. Which I actually liked El Grande. It was one of my favorites, but you really want to play with 5 and it never hit the table, so it just was no fun. But then this one came out. It's gorgeous. I mean, as you can tell, the table presence is ridiculous, and it's fun and relatively quick.
It looked very photosynthesis-like to me when I saw it at the table. I think that's why I didn't go look for it until I
Right.
read the rules and I saw it's a look-alike, but it doesn't play alike. I was surprised.
Right.
Yeah, I even thought it was made by Blue Orange, right? That makes
Yep.
photosynthesis.
That's right.
I do believe.
I thought it was they were going for a trilogy or something, and then I started reading about it. I was like, it's not quite the same game. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then I love, and you're going to see this play out, how this kind of plays over a couple stages. So I wanted to like photosynthesis. It was a little hard to get over the rules and to teach because, how the sun moves and how the trees cast shadows. It's easy to get the concept, but it's a little hard to teach. This is pretty straightforward. We play this in 2 phases, 2 scoring rounds, and that's it.
Cool. Yeah, the photosynthesis for me fell flat. I played it 4 times, and none of the group. I enjoyed it, but none of the group really.
Right.
I guess it's a game you have to play often enough to get the gist of it.
Yeah, and then of course I got harassed by Daryl Andrews when I went to buy it, of course. But it was a lot of fun, and Sharon and I went back to the hotel and played it. 2-player, it's a little I do this, you do thatty. You know what I mean? But, it's still fun, and you're still kind of vying for a little bit of control. Area control with 2 is a little rough. I think, you kind of benefit from a randomizer. I don't like chess style, so With 2, it's just a lot of move, counter move, and it doesn't really change. So, but with 3, I think it's going to open up a little bit. So, I think it's pretty cool.
Excited.
Yeah. So, Gil got to go to Origins this year, right? You were out there?
I did. It was fun. I think there was a day I didn't even go to the convention center at all.
I believe that. You guys, they go to the hotel and they just stay there and game the whole day.
Yeah. We didn't have a Dice Tower booth, so I was free to go everywhere this year, so it was fun.
You and friend of the show, Victor, also did the I'm not committing to anything, I'm just coming to have fun.
Yeah.
And, I'm starting to understand that because Sharon and I don't want to say overcommit because I love doing it, but we do every day 10 to 2, we do it at Capstone's booth together. So that's, Thursday, Friday. Well, we set up on Wednesday, so it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then we did a little extra on Friday. So it was like, give them a lot of time.
Yeah, the problem is like with so many events going on there now, like if you lose morning part of the beginning of the afternoon, and then like it's Secret Cabal, Pink Bag, Blue Bag, Pink Bag, and Brawling Brothers, and all the other events.
And Game All Night Whiskey Night.
Yeah, which it was my favorite of all. Sorry, Jamie.
It's different. It's different.
It was because it was gaming. I think that was the one thing I liked the Whisk Meetup. I probably played 3 games on that night during the Whisk Meetup, and that was great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So last year was kind of a surprisingly successful, I think. Like we probably had 30, 40 people in there last year who came in. Now, I'll be honest with you, 10 of them were probably just walker-bys who just went booze and hopped in.
And 29 of those people retained their pants throughout the entire
Yes.
game.
Yes. Potentially even more. I'm unsure. I did check with Eric the following day, and he reported no pants incidents that night. So when it comes to scheduling, there's no good time to schedule these things. Like, 'cause to be honest with you, it's rough because you're going to go up against somebody in something. The Cabal started at 7 and goes like all night. So I kind of said, you know what? I wanted to do the Blue Peg, Pink Peg because there was many people who, we're buddy with in the industry. I wanted to go hang out with and support. So, Clay and I didn't want to do Thursday. So we kind of said, well, let's do Friday. Last year we did Wednesday. And so I think 2 things happened this year. I think number 1 was I think a lot of people showed up and came to the whiskey night on Wednesday. That was the first thing they did, and they're all like, "Woo, Origins, yeah!" And I think they kind of helped themselves a little bit. And there wasn't as much gaming last year. It was a little bit more, standing around having some whiskey fellowship, which was great. But there was also a little bit more of that. Like when we left at 1:00, we were a little concerned what we were going to come back to the following morning, and it was a little bit of a mess. No lie. This year, however, completely different. People sat down, they played games, they came up, it was a bottle share, not like, hey, come drink everything. So, bring a bottle, contribute, which was great. And we probably had like 80, 90 people.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we filled the Capstone room. And that, I'm not saying that's going against the Cabal because, there's some crossover between our 2 groups. Like there are a lot of people who started at the Cabal and came to ours as it thinned out. But we also, and this is probably a bigger point of teeth grinding, was we actually went directly head to head on Punchboard Media. So, we're now members of them and I would love to have gone, but our meetups were literally both at 9:00 and we didn't even leave until 1:00. So
because again, there's so many stuff to do now at night. There's no good time anymore. There's so much going on, and I think it's one of those conventions where people go to meet and greet and just see each other more than anything else. It's not like Gen Con that is exhausting, and you walk in, and it's almost like a business-like kind of convention.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing we have PAX so close now. It's like an alternative for that. I think it's in between both. I felt Origins, I don't know if it's just me, but didn't seem to be as crowded this year at Origins, which is neither good or bad.
Right.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of felt, I liked it. I mean, we had a very busy booth this year because Capstone released Pipeline. So I was demoing that nonstop, and it was probably, it was the #1 game in the hotness there.
Yeah, I have a lot of pipeline related questions. Why don't you teach Bosk, and then I can unload.
But I have to say, Capstone have my favorite games of Origins.
Yeah.
It's not Pipeline.
No, it's what is it? Magnastorm.
Magnastorm.
Well, you can teach me that another time because that's now upstairs.
Wow. I don't know how. I know it went under the radar, and somebody told me about it, so I went to look at. The guy was standing there, explained about the game, and was like, "Whew."
There you go. Well, that's Pure Land, so that's who Capstone imports, so they get a lot of their games. So for those of you just joining, welcome. This is the game all night. We're doing our little bit of Origins recap. Dan and I haven't been able to get together until now, so he didn't get to go, so I'm sure he has a bajillion questions.
Yeah,
Watch, Dan, you're slipping out of screen there.
That's deliberate.
You got half a lime.
That's how I pull up my...
You got half a lime in the coconut.
Feed. No, I'm coming back. Don't you worry.
Are you afraid of holding my hand?
This is...
No, I'm not jealous.
It's all good. So feel free to interact in the comments on the YouTubes. We should be able to see them there. Also, if you use the hashtag GAN Live 2019 on Twitter, we'll see those comments as well. So feel free to chat along, ask any questions, and we're going to play this gorgeous game called Bosk. So the Bosk is pretty cool. It's designed by Daryl Andrews with art by Kwanchai Moria. It's released by Floodgate Games. It's pretty sweet area control game that's played over 4 rounds, a full season of the year, as it were. There's 2 placement rounds and 2 scoring rounds. So I am no Rodney Smith. His video is fabulous, by the way, if you want to learn this very quickly. But I will try and be as concise as possible. So in front of you, we each have 8 trees numbered 1 to 4 twice. We have a deck of cards that are in the shape of these awesome leaves. We have a squirrel token we'll talk about later. And then we have our bits that are going to be right here. And these are the leafy bits. So if I give you guys the screen, you can see down here these nice, look at these little bits. These are ridiculous. They're just awesome. Of course, you have to have the maple leaf over there. And you have the...
I'm going to be sugar high by the end of the night.
Yes. That's all good. So in the spring, what's going to happen is we are going to plant trees. Then summer, our hiker is going to come around and score. Then in the fall, we're actually going to drop leaves, which will then be our area control scoring for the end of the game.
Okay.
How you place a tree is basically we're going to go around. You will essentially, we'll just do them in turn order. We'll select a star player and just go around. And you just place your trees. The values will have a bearing on this round, and that will bear on the placement in the fall round as well. So they do have dual bearing. So when you place a tree, we are playing, so you can see here there's this line going around. Because we're playing 3 players, the board shrinks a little bit. There's actually on the back side is a 2-player board as well. So it just means that we're going to place trees on intersections. All right, and whatever intersection is fine, just it can't be here. That would be illegal because it's on the border.
Because it would be like this.
Correct. So any tree on any one of those intersections, completely fine. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go around until all 8 of our trees are out. And then our hiker is going to come down, and we're going to look down each line. And we're going to look to see who has the most trees in that line in value. So if you have a 4, we both have a 1. You get first place, we tie for second, so we wouldn't get points. And there's actually a chart we'll refer to on the rule book, which will actually tell you that scoring when that round comes.
What if you tie for first?
you only each get 1 point.
Okay.
And if you're undisputed in a row and you're the only person there, you get 3 points. So being solo in a row is the best thing for you, and not tying is the second best thing for you. Which makes sense, right? So we're going to do that on both the rows and all the columns. We're just going to look down each one, and we're going to basically give ourselves scores based on that.
So you score like a X and Y kind of thing?
Yep, okay. Exactly. All right, and then what we're going to do, so that obviously the value of that counts, right? Now later on in the fall, so that would be summer, the fall we're actually going to drop leaves. So what we'll do, and I'll refresh you when fall comes, you're going to pick one of these on your turn. And if first, the start player is going to be the person who's in last place, gets to pick first, and all you're going to do is pick a number. And we don't do this simultaneous, it's not anything like that. So you have full information, and then we're going to take 6 leaves into our hands. All right, and once you place that number out, it will be removed, and you can't use it again. Okay, so you'll notice you have 8 tiles there as well. All right, and then based on which way the wind is blowing, in this case it is blowing left. This would also tell me that my 1 tree would have to be the placement, so that would mean I now can place leaves falling out of that tree. So I can place it in both these, all right, or I can place it in any one of these 3 as well.
So is it either orthogonally and diagonally? Doesn't matter. As
yes.
long as one apart. Okay.
Yes. So, and like every time you do it, remember you have, when you come off the tree, you have these 2, and then you have the 3 that are in front of it are completely available. All right, and I'll get into more, but I want you to understand like how the wind direction will work and how that's going to play.
So the number of the tree is how many leaves you can drop?
Nope, that'll be determined by this.
That. Okay.
Yeah, the number only matters for placement in that initial scoring, and it will. So you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll do whatever trees you want. Okay, and as you do them, you'll remove them from the board. Chop down a tree. All right. So the wind also, whoever goes last will actually control the wind board, and they may move this wind board on any side. So they will determine completely which way the wind comes from.
So is that the same? So that's a choice made one time by whoever was in last after the spring or after summer?
Yeah, they'll make the first choice, and then when we go into round 2, whoever played the lowest number will then get to go again.
Okay, I follow you. Okay.
So you'll be able to finagle first place.
Beforehand, before the leaves drop? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So you'll see that. We'll review that again when we get into fall, just to make sure you're comfortable. Ooh, excuse me. Make sure you're comfortable with it. But we'll get started.
And then I'll screw it up despite both of those.
And when you say area control, so it is like at each color here, or each whatever area is so this area and this area are the same ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, when we get there, this river, yeah, they're all different.
We're getting some love for squirrel tokens.
We are.
It's been a while since you and I have been on our campaign for our animal tokens of choice. The elephants have not. The elephant campaign really subsided in 2019.
It did.
But the squirrels were the competitor.
Apparently, rolling dice and taking names is getting a lot of play right now that this is coming out.
This squirrel is as wide as a Formula 1 car.
the new tire, and then the leaves are like super thin.
So wide. Yes.
Get the movable wing back.
They're like 1 millimeter thin.
Flying squirrels.
So, welcome, David, to the broadcast. You're always in there, so thank you for that. So, if we want, let's everybody contribute a leaf to Mr. Dan, who can do the good old shake and to give us a start player, and that's also be our score marker.
Stirred and not shake.
Shake and
throw
not
one.
stirred.
Nope, it's not going to happen at the top. So we'll drop one. Here goes first
Drop
player.
one.
It's going to be. There you go, Chris.
All right.
I could tell you who wouldn't be the first one.
All right, so let's see. Let's go with. We'll drop that guy right there.
Start off low commitment. Your one's on the board. You're not committing a lot of value down yet.
let's see how this angle works. I thought this would be. Look at that. I think that angle's nice and sexy.
Oh, you get to appreciate the grandeur of the thing.
We'll do this for a minute or two. All right, so you're up, sir.
So you're going center too here because gives you a nice flexibility for the subsequent leaf droppage. We'll go right there.
Excellent choice.
Having no
I'm gonna go on
idea
a
what
2,
I'm doing.
just to be different.
Just planting a tree right in the middle of the water.
Just in the water. It's maple.
You had to go in my row? You dirty rat.
Oh, I like the fight has broken out and it doesn't involve me.
Actually, I want to be there.
Oh,
Sorry.
wow. You're a spoilers, man.
I want to be the jerk.
Hugging him.
All right.
I feel like I'm doing something wrong already.
All right. Let's go. Let's go put my
This is
other
the start
one
player.
down. And go here, like so.
Let you guys see these glorious tokens.
Your column has been
Shymied.
has been a hostile takeover.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't really like this. I'm kind of starting to feel a certain way.
Saying that way isn't delighted.
My first objective is not to lose, and the second is make sure that Chris doesn't win. So
I
don't worry.
appreciate-
If you
I appreciate this angle.
fans
a
of the
great
show
deal.
will know.
Did I jump here? No. You've placed.
Nope, you're on.
Okay, you've placed 3. All right.
Blowing me.
Uh-oh. He's spreading the love around.
I feel like
It's coming from me too.
Because of the fall, maybe the tree's so close might not be a great idea.
Well, you don't necessarily want them close either during, because if you get a row by yourself, you get more points. Because remember,
But when I
if you're in a
drop the
row by
leaves, do
yourself,
I cover my own leaves if I go?
you can.
Do I have to pay 2 to cover my own leaves or not?
Not to cover your own.
Okay.
Just if you're covering someone else's. All right.
I need to get to that corner over there. I have no idea what to do. So now, while you're taking your turn, it's an excellent time to ask you and distract you with questions about Magnastorm. You said it was. Now, I've heard a lot of love about Pipeline. Magnastorm has yet to hit my radar.
Magnastorm is so. How do I describe? So it looks like a heavy, like Eurotrash game. Like first glance is almost a miniature.
Yeah, it looks like
a game.
Yeah,
right?
it looks like ships on a map.
But basically, is a action selection game with some movement. So you have this planet where you're trying to put your turtle. Your stations are shaped in a turtle kind of shape, and so there's a center board that rotates. So there's a storm. So 3 sections of the board, there's a storm coming. So you can't build it, can't do anything there. So at the same time you're doing your actions and selecting and hiring people and getting engineers or the administrators or whatever they call, you have to make sure you are moving away from that storm, because once the storm is on your area, you can't build or anything. And if your rover is sitting in there, you have to move away because you cannot build in there. So you keep moving on this circular pattern. Now here's what I love that game.
Yeah, man.
It looks huge. There's lots of stuff to do in it, lots of options, and we played in 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Wow.
This huge game
That's
Wow.
always.
on a 3 players, and then we played 4 players. We played twice.
Yeah, you play. I saw you play at the. You were in the Hampton on Saturday.
Yeah.
I saw that game.
I was very surprised. I'm surprised I've not heard more about this game. I know. Then later on I went to check, and I know that Tom liked it a lot. I understand why. We not necessarily have the same taste for games, but that's one game we agree upon.
Very cool.
All right, David.
Now, is
so
there
what,
anything you? Oh, good.
what is objective number 2? Because if it's drinking or anything like that, I think that's an unfair objective, sir.
Oh, Gil had stated his objective number 2. We have 1 winning. Objective 2, making sure you don't win.
Oh, well.
So it did not take long.
That's not really a badge you get because it's more. Everybody gets to do it anyway.
Now that's
now. Is there anything you would compare Magnus to? Is there another?
That's the thing. I've never. It's
quicker?
unlike anything I've played it. I mean, there's a lot of elements of other games, like a lot of action selection. A little movement and going around the board, but it's very unique. I think that's what attracted me. The cost, like they had a coupon they had a coupon in there, so it's. I think I don't know if I should say the price, how much I paid, but I thought that was amazing deal Capstone was giving to people there. That said,
$50 and it was a $70 MSRP.
Yeah, and I had a coupon for 5, so I paid $45 on the game.
Yeah.
For that amount of miniatures and stuff, the production of the game is excellent. But my favorite part of the game is because the iconography was so well done. It's totally language independent. I mean, there are some reading. I mean, there are 4 cards you're gonna need to know. But if they are open, so if one person knows the rules or can read, you can play that game with anyone, anywhere.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That said, Pipeline is amazing too.
No,
this was a good year for Capstone at Origins. I have to say.
Dave's giving me grief. I take back those nice things I said. Good Lord.
All right, hit us, Gil. We're waiting on your.
At least he pays attention to the show. I can tell that.
So that was the hors d'oeuvre there. That was the appetizer. Obviously, I'm actually under strict orders to press you for juicy pipeline details from one of my coworkers who is absolutely mad for it already.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
Is that my treat?
No, that's mine.
No, okay.
Yeah, the orange and the red are a little close, but honestly...
I wish they had some blue trees.
Well, they have purple.
Spruce
but I'll be honest with you, I love the maple leaves and I love the oak leaves.
I know.
So maybe they'll come out with the ginkgo expansion.
And I mean, it's nice. It's not just color, too. The trees actually look...
They are shaped like the leaves
distinct.
are a bit.
Yeah.
Right? Like the oaks are round and loopy. No, there is some subtlety to that as well. So
we've made a beautiful picture. This sort of feels like playing a tumbling block game where sometimes it's like I don't know if we've done well, but we've created something beautiful.
So Pipeline, I really like Pipeline, and I think for a lot of people, like it could just outright replace. I like to say Power Grid because
it's sweet. For me, I think it's a better game.
Yeah, it takes out the auction. That is, let's face it. Unless you're familiar with the game, an auction is very difficult to manage. And then that was support. That's always a struggle. It's like, how do I value this thing? Like it's a 20 power play and you just bought it for $40. How does that make sense? And the market is so super strict, whereas this is, you build a pipeline at your own leisure using the pipes you're provided. You're not restricted and sitting there and doing all the math. So you get to do the route building, but then you also have to deal with the markets and everything. So it has those components of Power Grid in them, but then you also get the added benefit of running your engine and improving on it. So you really get to get ahead of steam on it. And it's one of those that starts really slow and then it just ramps right up towards the end. Because you start with, it's played over 3 years. The first year's 8 turns, the second year's 6 turns, and then year 3 is 4. So it creates this crescendo of action as you just kind of drive towards it. I fell in love with it.
He also, there's a mechanic that avoids the one strategy kind of a thing. You have to do a little bit of everything. You can't win with that game. I tried a one-way strategy, didn't work. You have to do a little bit of everything. Otherwise, if you just disregard some of the stuff, you're not gonna win that game by any means.
Now,
I'm doing something wrong.
What do we have from?
Lining so many trees.
Dave's he's just agreeing with my ineptitude at playing games, which he's not wrong. I'll be surprised if I taught this correctly. Let's be honest.
That's the beauty of live show. You don't get as much heat. It's the YouTube comments that will come later that will let us know.
I feel this is empty, that I should go somewhere in there, but at the same time, I feel it's empty for a reason that I'm not seeing it.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing, so the absence of yellow there is not
just
indicative of anything in particular.
For visual effect, I'll complete, because I see the river going through the Bosk. By the way, the word Bosk, we use the same word in Portuguese. It's spelled different, but we spell with Q-U-E.
Okay. And it mean forest or tree?
It's like a small gather of wood, like the woods, like something we would walk in.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be like just the woods or the metal or whatever. A bunch of tree together. English, you can see, it's not my story.
All right. Now, Mr. Dan, if you would grab the rule book there on top of the... and on the back side of that, there's 2 scoring grids. So the summertime scoring is what we're going to utilize now.
It says dwarf tokens score 10 to start. Oh, great.
Ha ha. This is going to be kind of our guide. And this is... It's really well done because I think it's kind of designed for, to take away any ambiguity in scoring and ties when they occur, and number player counts. So I think that's a very interesting way to do the rule book. I wanted to call that out.
Although for such a well done production, I wish they had done 2 cards for that.
Oh yeah, that'll probably be like the first thing I'll produce is just have a little quick score sheet. All right, so we're basically going to work down all the rows, and then we'll work all the columns.
Sounds beautiful.
So that's kind of where this is our first player marker. We're going to use that to kind of determine what row we're on so we don't lose track. So here, red is the winner, and orange is in second place.
So that means first place gets 2, and second place gets 1.
There you go.
Based on this handy scoring guide.
Take a picture. It'll last longer. Orange is in first place, and yellow is in second because there's a 3,
so 2
a 4,
for orange,
and a 2.
1 for yellow. Up on the board.
Yeah, that was kind of a little bit of overkill there, Chris. All right, so here it is 4 and 1 on red, so they're going to get first place.
Yellow gets second.
Yellow gets second.
So 2 for red, 1 for yellow.
And there's no points for third. Yep. So let's see. Then red gets first place. Yellow gets second.
So far, every one of our rows has had a single first place, single second. We've had none of those awkward ties.
So now we have a 4 for yellow. So yellow gets first place. Orange gets second.
My first place row.
There you go. Excellent.
Finally managed to take one.
All right. Red gets first. Yellow gets second.
Oh, yep.
So you guys can see the scoring a little bit over here. Let's see. Then this one's going to be yellow gets first place.
Yay.
Orange gets second. And then this one will be orange first, red second. And then yellow first, orange second.
Okay. So we stand halfway through summer scoring. We stand at 8, 9, 10. Let's finish it up.
8, 9, 10.
That doesn't matter.
So first player disadvantage, I would say.
That's quite
but
tight.
That's actually true.
We're not even halfway through the scoring.
That's area control in a nutshell, though. All right, so red gets first, orange gets second. Yellow gets first, orange gets second. Orange, you glad I didn't say banana? Wow, red gets a lot of first place.
You really wanted that column, Gil.
That is a mistake.
You really invested.
And orange gets 1. Yellow gets 3 for being alone.
Wow.
Well done, sir.
I actually meant to have this.
Nah. All right, orange gets first, red gets second. Red gets first, yellow gets second. Red gets first, orange gets second. And then we have our first tie for first, so yellow and orange both get 1. And then yellow gets first and orange gets second.
All right. So after summer, Chris is at 16, Gil is at 18, and I am at 19. But yeah, so these I suspect are dwarfed. You can throw a blanket over first to third, and I suspect we're about to get.
Oh, I wouldn't say walloped. I think is a bit of an overstatement.
No, I said the opposite of that.
Do I get to choose where the wind blows? Is that how it works?
No, so I'm in last place. So
and here.
I will be first. So what I get to do is I can put this on any side of this. Now,
I suspect this is more than a 3-point advantage to be able to do this. So really, you're well positioned.
Right. So
I'll get this out of the way.
My brain is trying to see where your ones are. Is there any places that, are they near an edge? If I, like for instance, I have this one over here on this edge.
Both of your ones are on that's half of the board, so you almost certainly don't want the wind blowing where it is right now.
Yeah,
blowing
this
that
way
would
exactly.
be awful for you.
So I am actually going to do I'm going to actually come down here.
Although he can get one down there and one down there.
That doesn't seem good. That's almost as terrible as it gets.
Don't
I would
give
think
him
that.
advice. Whose side are you at?
All right, so now we have all of our little numbery tokens.
Now,
they're all the same.
Yeah.
And it's one use, one thing. Now we all have to use our number ones for this first round.
Number 1 tree, you mean, not the number 1.
The number 1 tree.
There is no number 1 card.
All right.
However, there is a squirrel card. Now, did you tell us? Did I miss?
So 2 rules I need to tell you about. So number 1 is you have 8 trees, you have 8 tiles. One of them is the squirrel. The squirrel is best explained after the other thing I need to bring up. So as I place leaves, I will get into my hand X amount and I'll place them down. Now, if I'm covering my own leaf and whatever's on top counts, it's irrelevant, okay? I can cover my own leaves, no problem. But if I ever need to cover somebody else's leaf, like let's say I'm going to go here and I want to cover Gil's maple, I have to discard 1 for every piece of wood I'm covering. So
take 2 leaves to take.
Right, so even if it was my own leaf on the bottom, I would actually have to discard 2 to be able to put 1 on top.
Oh, it's 1 for every one under you.
Yeah, my own included. Now, if this were reversed, and I had already previously covered you, and I'm on top, it's free. I can just place 1 on top of that again. But you always want to keep the pieces of wood there because obviously that's going to change. Now, what the squirrel does is, let's say this is heavily contested and all that. When I place my squirrel, he goes, first I pick, and when I'm done, I remove that tree so I can't use it again, right? I did say that the first time,
Yep.
But just to be clear. So the squirrel's going to do the same thing. I'm going to pick a tree, and he's going to work within 3 spaces of the wind direction of that tree. All right, so he still is restricted in movement a little bit, but he gets to go on top of a pile, and, well, you can literally get the pile out of there because he owns that square now.
Oh, so I've heavily contested place.
He is, and you can never top him. He's the top nut winner of the family.
The Formula 1 squirrel.
Yes, he's really... I know, it's funny that these are all so skinny and he's huge. So, in a nutshell, that's it. So, yeah, so it kind of actually works a little like Endeavor in that regard. So I'm going to play my 5. Also, remember, start player will be determined by whoever plays the lowest number.
I fear you would like to bring up Endeavor in every conversation you have.
I don't have a problem with that. Go back to the latest Kickstarter. All right.
Oh, look at this. Now, just so that I'm clear, it was you.
I had the option.
In order to place this, though, you had to place like the one. You had to basically get a sequence. You can't just jump it. You couldn't have played.
No.
They skip there. They
so
have to land.
When I come here,
trail.
My options are 1, 2.
Yep.
I just kept to the side.
So you could have zigzag on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but I just decided to go straight down. Now, when we score, this will be one area, even though this is out of bounds, because these areas do count for scoring at the end of the game, just not for tree placement.
Oh, so we're still playing the leaves out.
Now we play out into there as
now
well.
you just pick up your...
Yep, so my 5 is out of the game.
That leaves, and you pick up
and
your
then
one
the
tree.
1 comes out.
Got it.
Here's a quick question. In this situation, if you would go here, So that would be legally. You wouldn't be going through mine.
Nope.
You could go diagonally.
Nope.
Okay.
It's just when I have to cover yours.
Okay.
And then it will be straight up area control scoring. And then there's a split chart as well for the winner scoring, although areas are worth a little bit more than lines were.
Quite by little, he means if you have sole possession of an area, you score 8 points.
Yes.
So
and first place is 5, I want to say.
Which is why I'm saying I think the 3-point gap here in summer does not matter at all.
I believe you are correct.
In light of the way the score. So I'm going to go ahead and take my 3 and hope I develop a sense of what the heck I'm doing as we go.
Well, you got to show all this strategy that Floodgate I heard about this. Floodgate told you how to play some game.
We're going to go what they advised me. Now I can share my info.
All right, so it's not too bad to be less player.
Actually, let me do this.
In area control games in general, it's always best to go last.
But on the flip side of that, though, setting the wind direction seems extremely powerful.
It is.
The player, so that's a huge consolation for the person
who uses the lowest number.
Yeah.
Right, and honestly, had that been tighter, I might have done that, but it was just too nice of a shot for me to take. With that I decided to go with a bigger number instead of one of my lower numbers. So yeah, I believe Patrick Hillier is actually growing stronger whenever a pun is brought into the world. He's kind of worshipped like the Ori in Stargate SG-1, Season 9 and 10.
I should pick this up.
Yes.
Whereas I feel with every one of his powerful puns, a sensation like Obi-Wan did at the destruction of Alderaan, I think. Is what,
just kind of... It's like 1,000 voices screaming in the night.
All right.
Oh, look at that. We've got a lovely checkerboard there. Sprinkled by the wind.
All right, so... Who played the lowest number?
I played a 3, so that's me.
And I played a 5. So you get to choose.
Should we be tracking that in some way?
Well, just have a discard pile that you
I'm
just.
putting mine on the side here.
Sure.
I mean.
I can put it on my hat here and just.
No, that's the drinking game later.
Okay.
How to keep it up?
So I asked my wife if I could pull off a hat, and she instantly goes, "Like Gil's."
Nice.
It's not for everybody.
I know. I don't think I have the face for a hat.
All right, so I'm going to leave the...
I have the face for radio.
I'm going to leave the board exactly where it is.
Uh-huh.
Well, let me see. Where are yours two?
Because right now it's going...
Fine. Your two's...
It's blowing west.
Yes, so we'll continue to do so.
Okay.
Although not having wearing your jacket is throwing me off, too.
I have uniforms for my different shows, and not having a jacket on this is one. So if I had one complaint... Why are you so small?
They spend all the wood on
the squirrels are monstrous, and then this guy's like so tiny. I'm like, hey. I wonder if that was a missize.
It's not the
management.
size how you use it. Come on.
I'm just saying.
It's a very cute little arrow.
I thought it was a birdhouse until I realized what it did. I'm like, okay, that makes more sense now.
Sort of wish I had my 3 now.
Man, I can see this is expanding. Like you could add fruits and then like in a little expansion.
You know what? I just want more tree packs. I just want I'd love to have what if they did a Japanese garden version and they had the ginkgos and they had some more
cherry blossom.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
I don't think it would be as northeast as this is for us, but.
Here's what happens in spring with the cherry blossoms. They cover the whole board.
Oh, that's the promo card. It's one cherry blossom, but you get 15 leaves. And you just put them and drop it right in the middle.
Yeah, was that Rampage style?
You just and then whatever it wipes out, it wipes out.
So we're still doing tree number 1. Oh no, we're doing tree number 2.
Two, and
this one's
the wind
good.
is going that way.
So Dave's. I thought Dan meant when Chris makes a pun, he stands disappointed amidst the flames, screaming, "You were the chosen one! You were supposed to lead us." That's my best Ewan McGregor, I guess.
It's very fun. So, what I'll point out now that you face the decision I had is that Floodgate did advise me minutes before we went live here that it's dangerous in winter to put both of your trees close to both of your trees of a given number close to the same side.
So that's 5. I'm paying 1 because I'm going to cover one of Chris's.
Well, I don't mind actually, but.
No,
it has to go in the next.
Oh, it has to go in the next. Oh, but does it count on the edge? Right?
Well, I'm counting it.
Perfectly fine. Speaking of which, I should pick up my tree.
Let me put it over here to make it.
Build my own little side forest.
Sure, let's go straight.
All right, so we'll remove
I'm
your
getting my
2.
tree.
All right, so my 2.
I have been topped.
My 2 is going to... What numbers did you play?
I played my 4.
And you played a 5.
4 and 5.
So if I want to go first, I either have to do a 4 or lower, because if we tie, it goes to the next person in turn order.
I'm not sure if it's a good strategy. I'm trying to keep my lowers for the end, because it seems that when this board is covered with leaves, I might want to be the last one. But at the same time, I realize I'm not going to be putting a lot of leaves if I need to cover.
Just
saw a flaw in my strategy right now.
These are the problems you have to deal with here, Gil. All right, so I'm playing a 4 specifically so I can get star player.
You're clearly not going here.
I'm clearly not choosing the tree in front of me.
Veering towards the center there. Intriguing. All right, so now, you and I are tied, having played the lowest. It doesn't follow like a turn of precedence. You're saying
it's the closest to the first player.
Off me.
Play first.
Well, I'm first players, but
yeah, but now first comes back to me because we both played a 4, so it goes to the next person in turn order if it's tied.
So basically, in any way we look at this, I'm screwed.
Sure. Well, it's more. I'll tell you why I did it, because if there are 2 directions that could really hose me with a 3. So I really wanted the control of that. So for me...
Oh, so you can still move.
Your trees are far. Your trees aren't hosed by the same direction.
Yeah,
because this tree's like centrally placed, so...
Yep, so I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to run it with a 6.
Oh, he's going hard.
So, boom.
Also, they don't have to follow a line. You can spread them onto the sides. They can split.
Yep. So, like, that was the path of the last tree, and then this is the path of this one.
Wow, you're eating a lot of ground. It looks good.
Well, you know, I'm not having to cover, so that's the other thought. All right.
It cost me a lot to move the trees now. Sure, I'm happy how this is going.
All right, I'll burn a 6. Let's see how this will work out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful yellow leaves. And we'll go. I have no idea what's good. We'll just run the edge here. Seems like I'm getting in my own way a little bit, but.
I don't have 5s anymore.
That's the best I can do. So, lifting it. So, you were demoing Pipeline consistently. Yes. Now, I know people were coming because they had heard the hype. How were people reacting once they had a chance to learn it, to play it?
So, I mean...
What kind of vibes were you getting?
I was getting very positive, like to the point where... During demos, there were people sometimes getting up in the middle of the game to go buy it because they were concerned.
I can't wait the next 20 minutes to...
Yeah, well, so we actually had to go and get more for Saturday and Sunday because it actually sold better than Clay had anticipated. So, you know, there really was a true risk of running out at one point. So it did really well. I tell you what was kind of shocking was we had... he had these like aluminum cubes made special for not even the Kickstarter version as an add-on.
Objective 2 is in full effect here.
Yes, I see that. I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
Kickstarter.
So these metal cubes, honestly, they're the ones like you would have wished for from Terraforming Mars. Like they were they're weighty and chunky. They were beautiful, and people were clamoring to buy them because there was definitely a limited amount that he had. So it did great, but there were really only 2 releases. There was Eastern Wonders, and that were the 2 big ones that were released.
Oh, so sorry. that pipeline's going to generate a lot of Etsy business, I can tell you right now.
How
with the wild drums and all that.
Oh yeah. I don't know. The metal cubes are great. I don't see the need for oil drums, but I get it.
What are they made? Because they're a little heavier than aluminum, though.
Yeah, they're pretty chunky. I really love them.
I'm going to go ahead and take first player for the next round then.
Okay.
Having tied you.
That is exactly how that works.
All right, so 4. Where are my 4s?
I used a 4 or 5.
Use the 4s, Luke. Use the 4s.
I don't love it.
Come on, that's great. That's fabulous.
Where are your 4s? Those are there. So
that was just for
this
David.
way
That one was.
is really all right. So here is the pylon Chris Hay.
Oh, come on. Yep, that's fine.
You'll just play a low number is all it amounts to. But we will go this way with the 4 wind.
Gil's talking to us by talking to himself.
And I guess I will...
See that?
Hi today.
Say hi to yourself there. Hi, Gil. I do like the chat.
I will go ahead and
moderation.
burn my 7 here. 4, 5, 6, 7. Seems bad, but I mean, you gotta do this. You only have so many cards. You gotta do it sometime.
Exactly. Do it to the best effect.
Now, I sort of sweat like doubling up back here and being exposed to
Ridicule?
easy hate later, but I'm gonna do it anyway. No, I do a YouTube show as your sidekick, Chris, so I'm comfortable with being exposed to ridicule.
You are
job
not
description,
wrong.
right?
You are not wrong. You signed the waiver. I don't want to hear it.
Now is the time we're going to discover if my strategy does work.
You have one?
Well, not really, but a line of thought. Let's say that.
Oh, and I should pick up this 4.
Yeah, I tend to get a little focused on my turn. I forget to do that.
Which one do I want?
It does make the board. This is probably peak beauty. You get the lovely tree standees and a nice autumn color from the leaves. We're gonna start losing trees rapidly.
Yeah. That's why I had to throw that special camera shot, right? Because I'm like, we gotta show that height because it's a vertically unchallenged game.
So I'm playing a 2 now because I need to choose the wind.
All right, grab your 4 tree.
My wind.
All right.
The answer, my friend.
So we're up to the 4s, and we're blowing left. And that really, yeah, you're right. I need to play it too.
Well,
I have no choice because my 4 are over here. What, did he play his 2 as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Those are nice, thick mats, though.
The Game Topper mats are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yes, tonight is brought to you by Game Toppers.
That's it. It was. You make me feel self-conscious because I do feel like a shill when we talk about it, but it's the honest to God.
Wetsuit kind of a quality.
It's 3 mil neoprene and it's the double stitch edge.
The stitched edge makes a ton of difference. If you have any older, you've got an early legendary game or something like that, and you have an older,
and they start fraying on the edge. Well, everybody's had a mouse pad that's done it, right?
I have an overlock, and I tried to edge my own mat one time. I didn't do a straight line. It's kind of a.
Thank you.
It doesn't align with the table. Let's just say that.
Well, the one I have inside.
So you've claimed your first opportunity to set wind, and now we.
You all choose whatever you want. right?
We do not have to follow Gil's choice of tree. Like if he decides to do his 3 right now,
Correct.
we all have to do 3. No,
direction
we just
I'm
all.
going.
Okay.
Nope. Now it's completely freeform. So yeah, no, I didn't bring the topper down today. So because that lives upstairs on the kitchen table. So but I always have this mat. Makes a good background.
Not think too much about this because this is a live show, so I'm just gonna wing it. And that's the direction. Do I become the first to place the leaves as well?
Yep.
Do it.
Okay.
You get it all, sir. So what else? Anything else that you thought about Pipeline? Like it's funny. I think.
Well, I want to hear what how Clay is feeling about it. This is an exciting time for a.
So it's the first Capstone game signed and developed in house, because all the other ones have been reprints, right? So this is the first one. Keep going. Can't go there because you went there. It would have to go in one of these 3 spots.
Oh, okay. Can I split in both spots or have to follow a line?
No, you can do either here, here, or here, whatever you can
But
afford.
one thing. So it's
So
1,
I
2,
have to-
3,
so
4,
I
5,
gotta have
6, and you have 1.
So I have to play a 6, not a 7, because I can't go that far.
Sure you can. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay,
Right?
I can't play the 7.
Yeah.
So it's he was ecstatic, and it was cool because we had Ryan Courtney, who was the designer, was with us all weekend. Showcasing the game, putting it out there, which was pretty awesome, I have to say.
I think the market was the genius part of that. How you can get the oil from both markets in most situations, but then you have specific situations you have to choose one or the other. I think that variation really helps, like when you're getting the oil.
Yeah.
But one thing I did that was a really big mistake. I didn't pay so much attention on the engine that splits the, what is it called?
The machine?
The machine. And all of a sudden I'm thinking, well, I'm killing in this game. And then we scored the machines on Chris. I was like, ooh, okay.
Yep.
That was a mistake.
Yeah. So your friends at Geekspiel popping in to say hey. So I don't know who runs your account for them, but they say hello.
That's Matt Miller. Matt Miller and I had a beer podcast for I don't know, half a decade, and guy knows a lot about beer. We became buddies. We met, I don't know, online one time, and I never thought that you could be friends to somebody that you met online, and that's Matt is strong-willed. He lost 200 pounds.
Wow.
I could never do something like that. He's amazing. Yeah.
I could lose it. I just will find it again immediately.
I don't know if I could give up beer like he did. That's a strong-willed person. And he knows a lot about games too. So we have similar hobbies, and I think we have similar profile, the way we are. So it's like brothers from another mother.
I can appreciate that. Excuse me.
All right, we're going to play my 8 here.
All right. Big dog coming out.
We're making the Sims lose. I realize this is a lot of strategy, more than it seems. It seems like a...
But such a brisk way to do it.
There's a lot of thinking in this game.
There's plenty of room for going deep here, but I love how rapidly it all plays out. 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I grabbed too many. 7, 8.
All right.
And pick up my 3.
Yes.
All right, so you played 3, so you were the guy to choose.
Oh, no.
Actually,
this was my choice this round.
Oh, you already did. Okay. I was talking
Actually,
too much.
I didn't pick up my tree.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay.
So it is now your turn. The wind is blowing south.
South.
Right at ya.
It's the winds of change.
We've got squirrel strategy in here too. I don't know. So, what does this count as a low card or a high card for the purpose of player, or no card at all for the purpose of?
Counts as a 1.
Okay.
He's pretty good though.
So I actually I did not know that about the development element that this is Capstone's first.
Yeah, and
that's a home run right out of the park. It's amazing.
I know it's but I mean he had such a loyal fan base, and that game is right.
Knocking trees around.
Yeah, that game is right in the the wheelhouse that his clientele loves. So it was like spot on. Also got a chance to play the new Irish Gauge, which should be at Gen Con.
Nice.
He had one copy playable, so that's just outright gorgeous. You know, again, Ian O'Toole both times. Like he's play smart.
I'm gonna give you your tree here.
Yes.
Forgetting that part. I like to see my stuff on the board. Freaks me out. It's getting empty.
All right, so
for some definition, it's getting vertically empty. This is a very busy board.
So you played your 6?
I did play my 6.
All right, so you will be going first. So I might as well dump my 8 now.
I was afraid of Chris because he had played this game a couple of times, but I'm a little concerned about Dan right now.
Chris is doing his part to alleviate your concerns. All right. You're bored, sir.
So I'm choosing the wind. Now that's where the wind blows.
Kind of feel like we should be like listening to some Fleetwood. Was it Fleetwood?
Yeah.
Listen to the wind blow.
I'm gonna go that way. All right. So, I
Yep.
figured that. Yeah. That
Dwindling resources here.
You can see the mistake I did. Can you? That was not good. But all right. So we'll go 1, 2, and I will make this expensive to get me out of there, or not.
I don't know that anyone's in a terribly great spot to do anything about that. I do not know if this is reachable. I guess with some crazy angle from Chris's 1, and if the wind.
Well,
yeah,
he has a 7. That's my
true.
problem.
That's true. But he would have to come. It is possible.
I realized I made a
straight
mistake.
across.
I realized I made a mistake when I saw he has a 7, and his tree was next to my leaf with the squirrel.
Oh! It's topping. No, I was already buried there. Okay, all right. I approve that.
It was more about me getting.
I have not played. I did not play a card in that round yet.
My apologies.
So we were coming this way.
We're coming this way with you having 1 and a 4.
I'll cut that out in editing.
And you get a 5.
Wait.
Yeah.
We're live. Even if you play
They're
your
going
squirrel,
to know.
even if you play your squirrel, you will not be first because it will
go to you. That's fine.
Mistakes were made. People died.
People died. It's just trees. It's not like we're playing with coconuts.
I never understood in English when you say they all die but 1. I mean, if one person was left, how do they all die?
Save one. Yeah. Well,
1.
all but 1.
2.
1 sole survivor. I think
English
it's just being
an interesting
dramatic.
language.
3,
Yeah.
4.
Just being dramatic.
5.
It's like how your nose runs and your feet smells and all that thing.
I think your feet do smell, but that's something
Over to you,
different.
sir.
All right, so because I am pinned in the corner, that kind of forced my hand a little bit last time. So now we're gonna the winds of change.
Wow, we do need to play a soundtrack for this conversation.
I think I'm gonna hate this. This is gonna be
I don't want to watch it. It's going to be painful.
All right, so you have 4. You're coming at me potentially. Nope, you will not be. So if I can get 4 in there, we tie.
So I imagine this is 2 different waters. That's kind of a where
Yes.
the water meets or runs down a cascade or something.
So that buys me that.
Dan plays before me. That's not good. Can I place a squirrel on top of a leaf if I don't have a leaf to pay? Does he count?
Squirrel just goes bam.
He just goes wherever.
Okay.
He just drops like a bomb.
He goes 3 with the wind, so he can move like a leaf up to 3 spaces. So he still has to follow wind direction and speed and all that stuff. Okay. So, but Origins was fun. What stuff did you got in on? What, Wednesday?
I got in on Wednesday for lunch. We always do lunch at Barley's on Wednesday. You get the free pint, which I give away because I don't keep pints.
Which is ridiculous because the line there is insane to get that pint glass.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Corner.
We waited for an hour.
Okay.
We ate with the guys from the Drinking Meeple.
Okay.
Really cool people. Tim and then Mark from the Chubby Meeple. So awesome. I mean,
so you only play with people who have Meeple in the name? Is that what I'm hearing?
I didn't think about that.
You're Meeple bias?
I actually haven't played with them. I played with them. I met Tim. Tim invited me to his house when I was in Cincinnati.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, like, not to find. I mean, you have to try really hard to find bad people on this hobby. Not that are known, but it's.
That's why you came here tonight.
Yeah, so I was trying to vary a little bit. Sorry.
This is what one does to the end of every. I deliberately am not doing it because.
Well, yeah, because you can min-max it a bit. Yeah.
But that is how the final phases are played. Let's see. If 2 players tie,
because I might be worth.
They get 4 points each.
Yep. So
instead of the 5 you would get, you take a 1 point hit.
But you also hold him back.
You get 80% of the points.
Well, I was wondering if that 1 point doesn't make. What's the second?
Well, let's put it this way.
Second place gets how many points?
If there's a single 3.
So I get 3, and you would get 8.
No. 8's only if you're sole possession of the whole zone.
5 and 3.
So 5 and 3
so
goes
your
to
choice
4 and
is
4.
do you
so
want to
split 8 instead of 5 and 3?
Do you want to own this? Do you want to tie for this one or tie for that one? Because these are your 2 spots, right?
Can it reach?
There we go. And the board is shrinking now.
I know the internet must be cringing right now with my time taking.
The squirrel does not need to top. The squirrel can go in an empty zone.
Yep.
He doesn't just nest amongst the leaves.
I don't believe so. Which one of you is the one that's going to pull a bunch of
stuff? Put the squirrel down and find out that you chose wrong afterwards.
Yeah, I chose wrong anyway. Let's go.
All right, pick up the treat and let's start scoring this thing. I got a book because I'm not counting.
Alrighty, so 1,
Amy.
2, 3, 4. So let's see. Red gets first and orange gets second.
All right, so 5 for red to go to 23 and 3 for orange to go to 19.
All right, and there's no points for third again, correct?
Understood.
All right, so going clockwise, so we have 2 yellow, 2 red, 3 orange. So
3 reds.
You jerk face. So him and I tie for.
So we got nothing.
Well, that was 3, 3,
3. No, 4 and 4. 3, 3, 3? No, 3, 3, 2.
Oh, that's right. I'm off the.
Because that's actually a blue.
That's unfortunate for me.
Yes.
So you each get 4. That's the worst possible outcome.
All right.
So.
The dark blue river, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me, 3 for Gil. So first place orange, second place red.
This is looking pretty dire as it stands right now.
Yeah, but we're coming into your territory.
Yeah, we're coming in your area. I see a lot of yellow on this side.
Speaking of, orange and yellow tie for first.
So 4 each.
Yep. All right, and then over here we have 4 red, 4 orange, and 5 yellow. So you just score first place.
How did you get? Oh, yeah.
You each get 1.
Yep, and we each get 1.
You get points for
just 1.
Okay.
If you call that points. All right, down here. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Ooh, that's a. I made a heavy commitment and lost it
when
anyway.
you said we tie, I was like, oh, he's not counting that one leaf.
I was missing one.
I was quiet, like, oh, let's see. I was hoping.
Yep. So first place red, second place yellow.
Dire,
buddy.
With the degree I invested.
Sorry.
So,
I know I betrayed you because I didn't go after Chris on that one.
Yeah. See, I was told that you had an objective. I heard a rumor.
I think we can go back and look at Dave's log and find out. All right, so we have 3 yellow, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 on the orange. So, all right, and then the last is this one, which is 1, 2 red, 1, 2, 3 yellow for first place, and orange and red tie for second.
Getting you 1 each.
Yep. So there we go.
And I'm last. Whoa,
but look at
what's new?
For this is practically a tie. For what it's worth, if this is not visible easily on screen, which I don't think it is, our score are 37 for red, 38 for orange, and 39 for yellow. With
pretty tight.
That is incredible.
Since we talk about the Formula 1
folks.
scroll, there was a Formula 1 driver called Nelson Piquet that has said the second place is just the first of the last.
Yeah.
Either you win or you lose. So
there you go. So what do you guys think?
Very cool.
I like it that it's quick. I was surprised how fast it is.
Yeah. And, I don't think it's all the brain material. Like, we can have a conversation and play it.
Well, we chose to.
Well,
I think you could.
If you play this with my wife, you would have a lot of AP happening.
Tree IP? I don't know who that would be.
SAP. You would have a lot of SAP running on the side of it.
Yeah, it seems to me there's a great deal of room for
for
calculation
analysis
and
it's great. I think it's better than photosynthesis, though. I think it's more enjoyable. I like photosynthesis. I'm not trying to bash photosynthesis. I just think it's a little more dynamic game.
The other one, though.
Oh, the bottom of the box.
Yeah, so we'll
it's a little more useful.
Take a quick second. So the other one's purple. That looks like these, like sycamore leaves.
But no, it's lovely.
Little trays for your colors.
Brisk. Oh, I like that. If we hadn't done your nice wooden situations, we could have done. The game comes with boxes.
Yep, and the trees just go right in them. I mean, it's really quick and easy.
Do the trees go into the big bag, or they just go? What goes in the big bag?
Nope, they just sit in the box. The way I have it set up is
Leaves and squirrel.
the leaves go in one, and then the wood goes in the other.
I like it.
Very cool.
It's better than I thought.
So besides Magnastorm and Pipeline, what were some game highlights from? Talking about meetup highlights, but what other games tickled your fancy to the extent that you had time to try them?
Well, I mean, for me, I didn't really get a chance to try too many because the con just gets busier every year, and it's more about trying to meet people, see people, talk to them about trying to make contact. So if I get them on the show, I have some nice context with them. So that's a big portion of it. So I found myself not playing that much, which was, I played a lot more last year, but I kind of booked ourselves up. We also stayed in a hotel that was about a mile away. So last year we were actually attached to the convention center. So we could just run upstairs, change, come back down. If we wanted to do that, it was 2 hours commitment because it's a 15-minute walk and and of course the weather was kind of rainy and nasty the whole time. There was some really bad days.
That it is. I think it's the first Origins that I didn't go. That the weather wasn't gorgeous. The weather's normally gorgeous.
Well, last year it was hot. I remember it being downright hot, and then this year it was 50 degrees one day, 80 degrees the next. It was very crazy. So I think that kind of put a ding on the gaming for us. But it was.
Well, that's a little bit what kept us at the hotel on one of the days. We just we look outside.
That really nasty
rain. It literally rained on their parade because the parade was happening outside, and it was gorgeous for 2/3 of the parade, and then it started raining. There was another game though that it was non-released. It was just a demo that we did called Abomination from Plaid Hat.
Oh, Abomination.
Abomination. That's the right pronunciation.
You build Frankenstein.
I was very surprised. Another game under my radar. We set to do a demo because one of the guys had read something about it. I thought Plaid Hat would do I don't know. I thought they were sectioned the company and they do more the card games and stuff.
Right.
And I was surprised to see a worker placement kind of game coming from Plaid Hat. I like the idea. I like the look of the board. I think they make sure that I don't say the wife's Frankenstein wives, because I guess they don't have the IP, but it's building the Frankenstein's companion.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah.
Not the bride of Frankenstein. No.
Yeah.
But it looked interesting. Unfortunately, I found out about it a little too late to actually be able to get over for a demo. It looks very interesting. I mean, I like anything that kind of takes a unique spin. Like TC Petty's forthcoming My Father's Work is right up that alley, but I think it's a little more bigger scope than what Abomination is. And so I'm curious to see how that plays out. Copenhagen looked interesting, but it was expensive. It's, one thing that I'll tell you was everywhere was the Tetramino games.
Yeah.
They were everywhere. Like, everybody had one. Queens, it looked good. I liked what it was doing. So I actually am like, I'll go over and pick it up. And then I'm like, $50
what is
I'm
your
not
price?
Mr. Cheap.
Queen's game is normally not that expensive.
Well, I think they start out that way, and then I think they discount pretty heavily later on, the way they sell through, because I think they do large print runs. They had a deluxe edition with full-on acrylic pieces, but that was like $90. I'm like, but the gameplay was so light. I'm like, it's a great lightweight family. Not entry level, entry to mid. It's like hitting in that low range. So
there's not a lot of components there too.
Yeah, I felt like
this is a thing. I don't know. I feel in my head I trace it back to somewhere around Sheriff of Nottingham, which is probably not an accurate seminal point for this, but there's definitely a trend in that weight of game,
right?
Produced to the nines, and therefore with the sticker price that goes with it. Quacks of Quedlinburg slots in there a little bit. There's a bunch of those, and they're hits. They seem to do well.
I think because they kind of fit two niches, right? I think they fit the niche of the people who feel they have to have games for all situations. Like I really used to feel that way. Like I have to have a game for anybody who walks in the house. I want to be the game sommelier, and I want to get you a game, and I want to introduce you. And I really used to feel that way. So I had to have all these lightweight, midweight. Like I needed to be able to run you up the ladder. So I think that's it. But I also think there's two other factors. I think it has very broad appeal because it attracts all levels of gamers. But now I also think you're starting to see people who are eyeballing Barnes & Noble and Target. And what games are they looking for? They're looking for those games. And if they look pretty and have great table presence, then they can go on the shows that will sell them.
Yeah.
So I think that there's something to be said for that, where, overproducing to a point, like Santorini is a great example. Like how overproduced is that? That could have been chits and cubes at its core, but it ended up being this thing, and boom, winds up in Target, gets mass produced. So I think when people see those things happen and they see the chunky bits and the toy factor kicking in, I think it makes a big difference.
Now, Target released today a game called Kenny G. Keep Saxy. I was like, wow, you're doing so well, and then you come up with something like that.
Well, they're still hitting. I mean, you want to talk about somebody hitting the market with a shotgun. I mean, Targets, they don't really care about us, but they'll still get us to go for pandemic, first response, or, to go get the latest game that, like, the MacGyver escape room game. Like, come on, I wanted that. I haven't played it yet, but I had to go get it.
I read that there's Barnes and Nobles. There's 3 items that are keeping them on business that are not books, and board games is one of the items that are keeping them on business.
Yeah, Bryce agrees with
dice, like the D&D dice sets. Yep. They're selling those like crazy Pathfinders and stuff like that.
And then the Funkos, that's big right now. Abomination, apparently according to Bryce, he thinks Abomination looks awesome. So
it is a really good. I'm not gonna give my final thought on the game because it's a demo. We didn't get to really build in. They need. I think we did the first demo they ever did of the game at Origins. So we start from the very scratch. They should have started like with some already bloods and bones and stuff already. Like so you have like at least a couple turns into the game to feel a little more. Because I don't know how long that the game is gonna take. Because it seems very awesome, but if it's a game that is gonna take like halfway in, you're just doing the same thing. So I love the game. I'm gonna seek out that game. I just want to play a full game get a feeling of the game.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like Plaid Hat is they're hitting in ballparks I don't necessarily play in, and it's a struggle because I really want to like them. Like I want to like Dead of Winter, but it's not a game I'm going to play a lot. I want to like Ashes, but I don't like card games. But I love the artwork. It's gorgeous, which it just ended. Moment of silence for Ashes, by the way. And then, you also have, the Mice and Mystics series. Well, I mean, I've bought that for other people as gifts, but I've never actually played it because, again, it's not my audience. So I'm kind of
They have a special place in my heart. Sorry.
They do, right?
They did because of Summoner Wars is what made me look at my 9-year-old and say, wow, you can really do that. I mean, we play to this date. I have almost everything for Summoner Wars, and Gab and I, once in a while, are just going to break up. She's 11 now, and 9 when she was 9. I was like, she wants to play, I pull it out, and all of a sudden I see this girl just like combo those cards, and just, I was like, okay. So that's why I still like have that for Plaid Hat.
Yeah, I mean, but it's funny that they're kind of a nostalgic company, but I don't even know that I own any Plaid Hat games currently. Like I've owned Spectre Ops, I've owned both Dead of Winters, but they just didn't see play. I love the idea of Spectre Ops, but again, just didn't see the play.
That app needs to come out. And he stopped. I think he stopped halfway through. I think when
Apps
they come out, that will give a second blood.
Expensive to make, and just to do a support app, you really need to go full Fantasy Flight and do a complete revamp. Mm-hmm. But Fantasy Flight pays a whole department to take care of that.
Yeah, I don't know if that glow in the dark one really jive. I don't know how much they sold.
And even the one with the two-tone printing, it was difficult to see. And those games when there's not an app to keep you honest, I think it's very easy to make a mistake and then mess up everybody's experience. And like Fury of Dracula suffers from that. If you make a wrong travel because you thought something connected to something else and everybody can't figure out what's going on because you made a mistake, that's like horrible when you ruin somebody's game like that. So did you bring your German push your luck game?
I brought that. I brought Dice Fishing, which is a very quick game. I brought
I think we need to show. I want to show off the Devil one.
That game is my favorite push your luck game.
I love it.
It's my go-to game.
I need a copy of it.
Yeah, I told I think Carmen had a bunch of them and he sold out them very quickly. Yeah, they have composite chips, poker chips. Should I get the game?
Yeah, go grab it. So David seems to think that I could rock the sommelier, curate a game for somebody in front of a wine rack. I could, David, but that would be borderline reviewing games and having to put a lot of effort into it. So we're not going to go there.
So they're going to correct my pronunciation, but it's Auf Teufel, komm, raus. Something like come out, devil, come out, or devil, come out now, something like that.
Yeah. I'm really bad at cameras. Now I get it when my guests do that. And they're always like, they don't know where the camera's pointed. So,
wrong side.
So this is great. A very, very. This is very typical of our German art. The way it's done is kind of this funny, funky kind of artistic thing with the screwed. It's very Brothers Grimm old timing thing, but with some kind of a funny look character.
That's pretty great.
I think what this game. I mean, for what the game is, I'm gonna say that it's cheap. But here is where you get your money's worth. Those are, I think they're not full clay. They got like a clay. What was that?
Well,
like
I mean,
core, a clay core, but with composite cover on it. So those are great poker chips.
Yeah, they got a little meat to them.
Yeah. So basically, you have this cauldron. Where you're gonna have all this coal inside, right? And you need to pull coal off of this cauldron. And if you look at the pieces in here,
you can tell an 18XX player.
So the coal have numbers, but some of them have the devil. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna start with a bunch of chips, right? And we'll flip those over upside down. mix them up. And I'm blue, and you guys can choose any color you want.
But blue.
But blue.
So you can choose any color you want except for the one you really want.
That's.
Well, you know what? This
language.
is pure. I want to be a Spiel des Jahres winner by actually making their
went ahead
pawn.
and put the trophy.
Well, it's a Spiel hit für Familien
Yeah.
from 2013.
So there are 9 devils in there. And there's 200s, 375s, 750s, 925s, 920s, and 910s. And you basically what you do, you just mix them up, right? And everybody will start at the 200 mark.
200, because you can lose money.
Yes, 200 mark. And basically we all get like 100, 150, 220s, and 110. And I'm just gonna grab some here just for demonstration. So on your turn, you wanna make sure that your money is hidden, and then you will put your hands down and you beat on it. Let's say I beat 60, right? If anybody pulls calls, not myself included, but anybody else pulls 60, I double my bid. All right, and that is for everybody. So whenever someone does pull enough calls that will, like, I did 60, I got my bid. So let's say Dan did 120. I may want to stop because I don't want to do his bid, so he doesn't get his money. So that's how the game goes, and then you see there's some even numbers, but something between, so people don't necessarily know where you are. Also, there are a couple other things that you want to watch for. The person who pulls the most amount of calls gets a bonus of 50. That's one bonus you can get. The person who pulls the highest number gets a 50. So you could maybe get 100 both pulling the most amount of calls and the most amount of number. The third thing is the person who beats the highest. If anybody makes that bid, you triple your bid. So on a single bid, you just would double your money. But if you like, let's say he did whatever there, so that's 100. I did a 60. You had 120. If you or anybody do 120, you triple your bid. But you have all that money. But if any time when you're pulling calls, you pull the devil, everything you pull to that point gets put aside and is mute. So I have to say this is a game that plays better in a higher number of players. We can do a 3-player game. There are a couple catch-up mechanics. If you are alone as the last player, you can do a pact with the devil. And that means, like, anytime somebody pulls the devil, so the way it works, like, you just show how much money you have, and then you say, I'm going to beat 70. And if anybody pulls the devil, that person needs to give you 50. So that's the catch-up mechanic. The only way multiple people can do a pact with the devil if they're in the back. But if everybody's in there, nobody can do it. It's just the first guy is in trouble. So that's basically it. Hopefully people understood that quick explanations. One round.
I think it's more about getting to know what you're doing. Yeah.
So bonus for most codes, bonus for the highest amount of codes, double your bid if somebody makes your bid, and triple if you are the highest bidder. All right. So the way it works, you hide your hand, and then you choose how much you want to bid. On a 3-player, I would say you want to be fairly high on the beginning.
Yeah.
And then we all have our hands down like, what was that, anachrony style. Sipa Sunshine is still a really good beer. There are better beers nowadays, but still an amazing,
quite tasty.
Speaking of better beer.
Speaking of it, my ultimate favorite.
Oh, I missed that one on the fridge.
Oh, Second Fiddle. I mean, I still haven't tried a lot, like Homestead and stuff, so I can't really.
It is up there, though. It's, I wish there was a little more body to it. That's my only complaint about that specific beer.
All right, so we are placing our first bid. Thank you for that quick pause.
This one's live, Chris. You can't edit out the. We can't edit out the
Oh
break
yeah.
where we are.
You want me to tell us a pirate walks in a bar? No.
All right.
All right. So we all reveal our bids.
Drop them.
So I did 130.
Wow, that is high. Okay, you weren't kidding.
So 7. So this is fairly low in a 3-player game. I would have bid higher. We haven't choose the first player, so you do your drop down thing.
I can't do that with something that's here.
All right.
Let's do Schwazi. That's a.
Here we go.
Oh, you don't want the electronic method? Okay.
So, Gil picked himself.
Oh, look at that.
Big surprise.
Shocker.
So I will start pulling the cold. I pulled the devil. I'm dead already. So that's mute. So now they have no interest. They can do pretty high. That means I'm in trouble right now.
Yeah, because we have no interest in going that high. You just want to go to
we're
80.
both clustered nicely, so both of us want to stop at nearly the same spot.
Yeah. But you could make an extra 50. Really. There you go. Oh, that didn't start
All right,
very well.
I don't like the odds of even making it to
That's
our bids
unusual.
now. All right. We're
You know,
nowhere.
he says all this stuff. And,
We're nowhere yet.
Well, you want to make Chris at least
Now,
now.
are we? Does this mean we're at 25 or we're at 35?
25.
We don't add.
Nope.
It's
No,
one person has to
the
pull.
devil come out. That is once all the coals fit inside of the cauldron, we put everything back.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a cute approach for that. All right, ready? I want to
Do
turn
it.
over. I want to turn over. I don't even know what the denominations are. Oh, that's not going to help. 60.
Oh, you made.
One more. Come on, you can do it.
Devil.
Okay,
All
I've
bust.
never seen that happen before. And that's probably with this game with a lower count player, but yeah, so none of us made our bid, so we all lose our money. Some of us more than the other.
Don't splash the pot.
And then you count how much money you have, and then you place your pawn in that region.
Dave Phillips, ignore the silly rulebook suggestion and use Schwazi for everything. So don't even bother playing the game. Just I think he actually means for the first player rules.
Or the first player rule.
Like youngest goes first, or last one to visit a bathroom goes first.
It's now deliberately comic. Is the way
Yes.
the game designers treat that.
Well, it's one or the other. Either it's deliberately comic, or it just says use your best method to choose the star player.
So the highest.
This is what we're going to do.
So the highest bidder pulls goals first again, and then. All right.
So this one's not random. This one's based on bid.
Well,
Not the
yeah,
first
whoever beat it highest or the closest to the first player, if there's a tie. So I got 50. All right, 100. That's not bad because there's 2 devils out already. So I should. I go
three
first again.
out.
3 out.
We all did it. We all busted.
So lowest goes first, or highest?
I've done mine. I'm stopping.
I actually don't think I'm clear. Oh, you were going highest because you
I
were
bid the
first
highest.
last time. That's what
I bid the highest on the last time.
last time. Not it's not our bid this time that matters.
No.
It's our last bid.
So I have to. Do I get to add that 50 now to whatever I pull, or do I have
No, I pull 50. You need to do yours.
So I need
or
to do
everybody
mine?
else. Yeah, it's one pull together. So this is a 50 pull. You need to do an 80 pull, or he does, or 100.
Okay, just so we're clear. Or I can pull nothing.
Luckily for you, he beat 50.
Yeah. So for me to make mine, I have to shoot right past yours.
Wow, that is weird.
This is it's
So
a lovely
you did
game
yours?
you've chosen, Gil. I think I know what my final bid's gonna be.
All right, so we relocate our guy.
I don't move.
I'm down here. I'm in Devil Pact. When do we declare our pact with the devil?
You have to be the last one.
You have to be the last one alone by yourself.
Oh, okay. I thought you said if we're down. All right.
Yeah.
I misunderstood.
No, there's something about here that I don't remember the rules, so we're gonna just skip that rule.
Gotcha. Since it would only benefit Chris and I, we're just gonna.
No, there's something about when you're last
copy.
together. I think both of you could do.
I'll just move on.
Yeah,
fine.
I think both of you could do it. Or you get 50.
I dropped mine. You drop your.
70. All right.
I'm gonna have a very
You
long
start because you're the
crawl,
highest bidder last
A
time.
very long, slow slog back into contention in this
I've
game.
never seen
the
this
boards
happen
go to
before.
1600. I need to keep doubling up my 20
When we played this
to
at
somehow.
ChrisCon, we played this at ChrisCon. I only got up there.
All right, I'm done. And everyone else's, I just made everyone's bid.
Yes.
Congratulations, guys.
10. So I have...
Why do I even bother?
Ooh.
You just doubled my bid.
I'm going to do one more. Oh, I'm stopping. Because I might get a 100 bonus. So Chris has no reason to stop until he beats me or...
What are you at? 205.
205 and 4 coals.
Yes,
So when you pull 5 coals, you get 50 already.
So I have 110? No, 105.
You're jeopardizing a 50 bonus right now by continuing to draw.
Yeah, I think I'll stop there.
All right, so I get... Who's the highest bid? So I get 140 plus 50. So that's 190. Because I did it.
Yeah,
Triple my
plus
bid
your
plus
bonus.
my bonus.
I get 20. That's what I get. I double.
Chris gets 100 back.
20. And in retrospect, clearly I should have kept drawing too. But.
Chris gets 100. So then we relocate our stuff there. I don't know.
All right. So when do I declare my pact with the devil?
When you're alone in the bag, like
which
right
you
now.
will be.
But when when I reveal my bet?
Right before we bid. 1, 2.
Okay.
All right. So Dave Phillips chiming in. I love the irony of rulebooks that say randomly choose a player to go first. Aren't randomness and choice antonyms? They are.
So you show how much
they are
money
a
you
bit
have.
contrary.
All right. There's my money.
And then you declare how much you want to bid.
40.
All right, 40. So if we pull a devil, we give you 50 from our hand, right in your hand right away. And who was the highest bidder? I was. So I go again. We're almost inside of the cauldron. There's a lot of devils there yet. 10. Oh, crap.
I was going to say you didn't release your...
We never beat.
Like, you're missing a crucial component here.
Yes. I do a 50.
I'll do 100.
All right, that works. That is kind of smart, actually.
Oh! I'll take a 50.
Here goes 50.
Juicy. Go ahead, Chris. Flip them.
I need Chris to make 50 at least, so I don't lose so much.
I'm already golden.
All right, you can stop, Chris. Oh no! Give him 50 from your hand. From your hand.
Oh, from my hand.
You're already losing that. So now I do get a turn here still, right? So I do get to try to make my 40. I'd like to stop exactly at 40, but obviously you don't have that much. You don't have that fine a grained control over it. I had to draw a lot of
100's still in there.
20. Whew. All right, and obviously we're done.
And
he doesn't need to beat me either because I'm out.
You're busted, so you're nowhere. All right, so then I get another 40.
So you get 140.
And I'm bust.
Well, I got my 100.
Well, you get a...
Oh, because I was the higher drawer.
And the higher drawer, so you get 140 on top of that.
Yep, I'll take 140. All right.
I get a 50.
Now I don't hate this game as much.
I do because I'm out.
You just you completely 0 points now.
Well, having to pay you the 50 hurt.
You go back to the which color are you, Chris?
Pink.
He's pink.
1.
Yeah, that was a problem.
Sure.
Because when you threw down that,
stay there.
you did your pact with the devil, and then I had $50 left.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, but you get something when you're the last. You get an automatic pact with the devil. So if we pull the devil, you get 50 from us. And you can pull as much coal. You can get the bonuses. You just don't get the devil you bid.
All right. So I think we do the thing.
I think we're inside. Oh, that's good for Chris though. All right, so we move the coals back. And did you move your guy on how much money you have?
Yeah.
So I have a pact with the devil, but I don't have any cash, right?
No, you don't bid, but you get to pull coals, and you get both a pact, and you get to try to go for bonuses. Yeah, this is a game you need 5 players to play at least to get a little more.
What's the when do we stop?
We get 1600.
So Ben,
this might take a while, so I might have to skip this.
So Ben from Floodgate said, "Thanks for playing Bosk. He didn't get on the stream to give you any more tips than you already needed.
Well, as a matter of fact, it turns out that Floodgate's advice got me exactly where I needed to be. Which was extra points. I did manage to pull out the win thanks to.
Yeah, and first, second, and third were all spread by 1 point. So it was pretty well done.
We had a ton of fun.
It was great. I do like that game. It's definitely has a lot of table presence.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but it was
I'll say we will play one more round of this because this in 3 players might take forever.
Okay, that's fine.
Or it's up to you. You're deleting.
Hey, anything that's push your luck is right in my herd.
All right.
I'm okay with it.
So, Dan.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Ooh, that's.
I got
smart,
nothing.
Smart move. Who bid the highest last time? Was you?
Yeah,
it was you. 70.
It was him after me.
No, hold on. I bid a mere 40 last time.
So
you bid
I'm
50.
so I go.
Chris,
Okay, so
Chris was the actual highest. Chris bid.
Oh, so he pulls calls first.
I get to pull for my pack with the devil?
You keep pulling calls, yeah, because you can get bonuses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really, your incentive is just to have a
as
high,
many as high. Yeah.
Just have a big pile of crap. Although that's also good for us. So that's weird.
Well, he can stop at 90 and just let us.
You don't really have that fine grade control. Woo.
How much did you do?
He's already covered.
So 130. I've already covered both.
So you can either keep going or stop. And maybe pull one more.
Well, if I pull one more, then I make it harder for you all
to get the bonuses.
To get the bonus. So, but I'm going to stop here since all the devils are back in play.
All right, Dan.
All right, so I don't want to pull a devil.
No.
And my bid's already covered.
So
I'd only be pulling if I only have bonus. So am I forced to pull at least one coal?
At least one you have to pull.
Okay, well,
I'm
good there. I'm going to stop there.
That's kind of where I'm going to.
All right.
I'm okay with Chris getting that.
So you get...
I get nothing. 100. Oh, I get 100?
So you get both highest call and highest number.
All right.
And I get another 100.
And I get 120.
The rich get richer, just saying.
Yes. Money makes money. That makes that, baby.
All right.
And I'll be over
here now. David apparently was watching us at work. He's on East Coast time, I'm guessing. And Ben also congratulates you on your win.
Thank you so much.
Well done. Well done. This one, we're not faring so well. Well, I'm not faring so well. You're doing great.
Well, look, you're out of the. It does not stop you from making another pact with the devil, though. I will.
Yeah, that's true.
Very good point. Very valid.
So who bid the highest? I keep forgetting that.
It was me. It was me this time.
Should pay attention.
Ready? Go.
50.
80.
So you go first.
Yeah, the difference between those is tight. All right, let's.
I'm going to get that out.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was a little aggressive.
Speed felt. You forget how many devils are in there right now.
Look at this.
I hate that.
I think I'm good.
Cheated. So he drew exactly what he bet for those of you playing at home.
People can't see this, but I do it on the button.
And my 100. Oh no, maybe Chris is gonna be nice.
Well, I have to be 3 to get the bonus.
Yes. Maybe not.
I don't lose on my own pack.
No, you don't lose your own. Yes. You actually
do lose my 50 bet. So I get.
No, you don't. He made your bet.
That's true. I covered your bet.
You get your 50 stays plus another 50.
Oh, I see.
He made your bet.
I'm glad you understand
Why does
the
he
rules.
get the second 50?
I don't. I already got the 50.
You got. Oh, because I thought you throw your 50 from here.
Nope.
So I have.
Oh, I did.
I have 80 plus the 50 bonus for drawing the most.
I really dropped down this one.
I don't even know where I'm at.
All right, so
score-wise, that's.
And this is
secret, but I need to do it
200 or lower, right?
No, as long as your alone is less, you can do a pact with the devil. Oh yeah, you 200 exactly.
But I have 210.
Then you're here.
Okay, that's what I thought. So no more pact with the devil. He's in Ponix. David Phillips is in Ponix.
All right. What am I gonna do?
I don't envy that southwest weather.
It was 81 degrees today. That's crazy and humid, like 70%. And I had to climb in an attic today, so it wasn't fun.
Do it.
So what's the highest bidder?
70, 80, 90.
All right, here we go. From the middle, 25. It's not good. Hey, come on. Where's the 75?
Slow and steady wins. Oh, man. Well, he just made all our bets.
Well, no, yeah. That's not greedy.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good.
Hey, don't mess up my pieces. I saw you trying to vibe my pieces.
Exactly. Sabo your mojo.
See? You messed them up. They were fine until you touched them. At least you covered my bet.
That's why I own the game.
115 in Phoenix. Hey, at least it's a dry heat. You know, you see someone burst in flames walking down the sidewalk, but at least it's a dry heat.
I will cover
180. I get 180.
I just get 80.
You get the 80. Chris gets the 70. You get 180 plus 80 because I did triple my bet. So I'm swimming in money right now.
180 plus 80 is 260.
There you go. Woo!
All right, final round.
Game, baby.
Oh, final round, he says, as he pulls out into a smoking lead.
No, I'm still with him there.
No, see, I waited until it was close.
All right, for the win, I'm going here. And I guess you're doing a pact.
Sure.
You need to show us how much money you have.
It involves math.
285.
It's a pretty,
All right.
pretty sweet point.
How much you're bidding?
140.
It's bold. 50.
150.
Shoot. Bad strategy.
All right, so I think you were highest last time.
All right,
So.
so I'm going to pull the devil right away. No, 2.
I'm okay if you pull the devil. Running with
That's
the
not
devil.
Woohoo!
You made your bid.
That's...
And that's up.
Good for me. It's as good as going to get.
Came in just shy of any of us. Oh, boy. All right, so I'm the one who has to pull this miracle off. I have to pull these huge numbers. 10's not helping much, and there we go. So you get a 50, and I bust. So you take that. The bank takes all that. I think...
Did I make yours? I made yours.
No, I don't. You didn't.
No, you came in just
150.
under.
Oh, 150. Wow. You
I had 150, but you,
I have 140 then.
140. But yeah, either way, you didn't cover it.
Nope.
All right, so
that probably puts you in the lead there,
I
sir.
need 150 back.
So's an oven, but you wouldn't want to live in it. It's a dry heat.
Congratulations, sir.
Yep.
How much do you have left?
410 at the end.
410. I had 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
But you're right. It's a lot more interesting when you have like
More people pulling
5,
polls.
6 people doing polls and.
I need to buy one of those urgently. Pronto.
Here.
Woo! Look at that. Oh dear Lord! I'm gonna have 5
Perfect
kind
fit.
of good feelings right now. I don't know how I'm gonna fit the rest of the pieces. But look at this.
Well, I mean, they can still go in the tube.
Yeah, that's true.
So there we go. So, any takeaways tonight, guys?
I need to go to Origins next year.
You know what? The wife and I like 2 cons. Origins is, we're going to go back again. I love the size. The food's good. Philadelphia does feel a lot, very similar to it. It really does with PAX. But it's fun. There's, it has a decent amount of gaming. The gaming space has gotten better. There's some gaming in the hotels, which is a little easier to get to at times. Like the after hours gaming scene, I would say, is a little bit better in Origins than in Philly, just because there's not as many direct options.
And it's not as cold as Philly.
Well, yeah, in December it's going to be a little tougher. So there's that. But you run the risk of hot and humid, and it's not easy to get a hotel every single time. Until you start developing some relationships, because if you want to get into some of the good ones, you have to have a little history and you have to pre-book it. But then Origins has so many slotted, so it's not a full-on lottery like Gen Con, but it's similar.
Sure. Yeah, we're lucky to be in that Hapton every year. I was online this last year. I was online right. I knew they would open, so because of the gaming area there, and I barely use the restroom at the con, just across the street. And there's a restaurant called Brassica. If you want to walk 3 blocks down the street, this Mediterranean was amazing. We ate there every day, have different things. I was very surprised. I didn't go, which is a down thing for me, but I didn't go to the market today. I just love that place so much. We just amazing falafels and stuff. So.
We went to the market the one day, and I was sorely disappointed that the shop that I specifically went there for was closed. Oh. They had a Jewish deli shop, and they made this Reuben that was insane with house-made pastrami.
The one on the far left?
Yeah, it was all the way back in the corner. It's now going to be a sushi bar. But I was very unfortunate that they closed, because it just... so, I mean, but there's still, that's the thing though, there's still plenty of good food. The late night slice is awesome. The events that go on around the con are great. I almost go more for that than I actually do the con. We didn't really buy anything. We bought if we spent $100, I'd be surprised.
It's a shocking statement.
Yeah, I mean, not because there wasn't a lot to buy. If I did market Capstone and stuff.
I know there were options.
Yeah. But it's not really it's not that pressure con to make you do that. And a lot of people are showing stuff that's coming at Gen Con. For instance, Arcane Wonders was showing off smartphone, but they're not going to have it for a year. But smartphone's coming out in its European partner is going to be running a Kickstarter for it that we can get over here, and Arcane Wonders is not editing it all. It's coming straight off. So it's kind of almost like, which one do you buy?
Yeah, but they're doing a lot. There's a lot of countries have problem getting, it's expensive to get a Kickstarter, so a lot of Kickstarter are partnering with local. Yeah. A lot of people have so many games, they don't mind to wait. I didn't buy much stuff because I want to support my local shop, and most of the stuff I saw there, I knew I could buy from the User Plus. I didn't go there,
That's happening more and more, right? And I would argue that there's almost a next level thing where, yes, I want to support my local, my FLGS. We have a great one here.
The best.
Yeah, I mean, I love ours to death, and that's great. But I think now it's almost like I want to go over and actually support a designer I know. I would say that factored into a large part of why I bought Bosk, because Daryl's been on the show. He's a friend of the show. I love him. He's a great guy. I want to support him. So
that's how I bought. Yeah, that's how I bought the third game from the Century Spice Road, because I just want to support Emerson. I don't know, haven't played the game yet. Didn't know anything about third game, but it's such a great people. The same thing at Connor. Run upside down games.
Connor was very busy.
It's the kind of people that you want to support.
Yes.
You want it to be in the business.
And even getting back to that. Hi Jay Feast. He just wanted to hop in and say he's enjoying the show.
Welcome.
Connor is one of those people who last year I kind of thought he was just loud and obnoxious, and he was just this kind of guy, right? To be honest with you. And then Gil. He's like, no, you should have him on the show. You should have him on the show, get to know him. And then when we had him on the show, he turned out to be this really sweet, conscientious, funny guy. And now he's an instant buddy. Yeah. And he's dude, gets up off the table. He's demoing a game, walks over and gives you a big bear hug. It's just incredible. David made the comment. He's like, I'm amazed at how many people you know. And
Berkey, great person in that.
Yeah, it's not so much how many people I know, it's how many people I know of, and then being able to go and try and make a connection, I think, is what I do. And I think that that's the crux of the show. So I think it kind of plays into the other hand.
So, I mean, to an extent, something that's true of the board game world. It's a small world, and like you said earlier tonight, just full of just incredibly cool people who are warm, and it's easy to get to know people in this world. But, like, if you watch the show, you get to see inside some of these people. You get to get to know them pretty well. It's a nice deep dive into who they are, and then you go to the next con, and you can say hi, and you can let them know that you saw them, and they'll happily talk to you. And
I think that's a great thing about the format of the show that you guys are doing is like getting to get people personal more than just talk about their games. So that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
No, I think it's completely right. I think the format allows us to get to know people better, and then when we can walk around the cons and try and get to know more people, to invite them on, and tell you what, I'm surprised. I'm surprised by how many people watch the show. That still astounds me. It's like you can see numbers on a show or an episode, or you can see comments, but when you get out there, and somebody, like, because people don't recognize me anywhere. But when you get to a con, like, okay, it's twice as many people recognize me this year, but that's like up from 3. So, and a few of them were repeats. But it was still great to, like, wow, it's like making a connection and people know you. But then also to have that happen with publishers, designers, people in the business, some of the other podcasters or social media people seeing you and knowing you, that's when it gets a little weird. When somebody comes up, like when the head of Board Game Geek comes up and says hi and he knows who you are, when Aldi does that, that kind of makes you go, wow, like, people are watching
just rubbing it in.
No, it's cool. So, to your point, David, it goes both ways. It really does. It's, yes, you're astonished by how many people know me, but I'm twice as astonished by how many people know me. If that makes any sense.
Small world. I think that craft beer was the same feeling. It's just small and weird, little tiny hobby compared to retail in general.
Yeah. So David says he always forgets what Dan does for a living. He thinks you're actually a bartender. Well, part number 1 to that is A, I had to train him. And B,
turns out I'm a terrible bartender.
If he was a bartender and if he was any good, he'd be working right now for real. So what do you do, Dan?
I mean, I don't. It's not that you forget; it's that I don't talk about it. It's very uninteresting. I actually love my job, but it doesn't make much of a tale to tell. I work, in software development, so for a company not too terribly far from here. So you are on my exact. See, I pass Chris's place on my way to work each day.
Yep.
So there's always a downside to everything.
Yeah, exactly. What I love is that Dan is local, so that we do have the, in-studio feel that we get. And I think that helps shape a lot of what the show ends up being. Big time. So this has been a lot of fun.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Gil is a special guest on our show tonight. So let me pop that off and let me pop that on. No, not that, you nitty. See, this is why Dan pushes the buttons, not me.
This is a replacement button monkey for tonight.
Yes. So, Gil, where can people find you, sir?
Social media at Dwarf Token, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff.
Yep.
On a hiatus from the Dice Tower, but I should be back soon. Life's getting moving and all that thing.
Moving, losing a guy at work, and all those fun life.
It's been an interesting couple months, but yeah.
And your daughter's getting busy. That doesn't help.
My daughter gets busy. Yeah, she works. She's a child actor, so she's busier than we are. So it's all good. And like I always say that we're not as good as we want, but always better than we deserve. So that was fun.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm really glad. I mean, for Gil, this is about an hour and 15 hour and 30 trip. So I appreciate you.
An hour? Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So I'll send you home with a few beers. But I really appreciate you making the trip. And usually, you two don't work together because you're the fill-in for Dan when he can't make the weekend shows. So that works out pretty well.
I'm the fake Dan bartender.
You don't try to be him at all. Let's be honest.
I can't. I'm not that good.
So I think that's going to wrap it up. I mean, this has been 2 hours, which is about what our target was. So this was a lot of fun. Thanks for bringing this. I like this because I like anything that kind of tweaks push your luck a little bit, makes it a little more fun. You know,
I like a good, blind.
Your fate is in your own hands.
Yeah, and one other time
that wits and wagers,
dice fishing. We need to play that one time. That's fun too.
Absolutely. So, look out for, we got Liz coming up next week. We got beyond that, we're going to have Asdrúbal Fuentes is coming on the show, the retro board gamer. That's
one of my favorite persons in this biz, like on the media.
You can't say that about everyone.
Great.
He ran.
He is great.
We were walking through the hall at Origin, and he literally ran to come shake my hand and then run back to Restoration.
Everybody, he's just amazing. And because there are two of them, so sometimes I think he's like just his brother is posing him as well, so he can be everywhere at the same time. So I think they're playing.
So I think that's going to be a little fun. We're going to do something special in the game, and good stuff there. Then I think after that we're having on the entire cast of Twist Gaming is coming on. We'll see how that works. 3 people at one time.
I'm excited. We had a great time with Liz too, so I'm excited for that to so everyone can see that. That was a lot of fun.
I look back and I say, I think that I can't really pick a favorite because my favorite was the last one we just did. I feel that way a lot, I really do. The winner of the giveaway, Bryce is asking, that is actually going to be up on Thursday. And I believe it's going to be right at the front end of the Liz show, and that'll be at 8 o'clock. I have that set to go out. So feel free to please check that out. Glad you liked it. The whole Henderson clan watches now. I think he got his brother. It's hysterical. I get a kick out of it.
Welcome.
So yeah, that's it. Thanks for bringing this. You got to tell Carmen to put a copy aside for me because this is fun.
Yeah, there's great components for such a simple game. Yeah.
There you go. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching, listening to our ramblings. If you have any questions, anything, always send them in. You can send them in to both Dan or myself. He doesn't answer any email. I really do. Let's be honest. But
you can hit me up on Twitter.
You can always catch us at GameAllNightShow.com and go to all the places. Be sure to check out Game Toppers right now. So here's a little pro tip. He's giving away a mat to every single podcast entry he gets. Sad for me that I'm one of the newer supporters, so we don't have quite as big of an audience as some of the other ones. Good for you, because it means your chances of winning a mat are much, much better. So go check that out. I just made a quick page on the website, GameAllNightShow.com/GameToppers, and it links directly to that. And he's doing that thing where you look through the videos, answer some questions, and you can win a full Game Topper package, which is
crazy prize.
The new mats are amazing.
Yeah,
the artist is doing an amazing job.
The Ryan Lucat mat, I want that.
So gorgeous.
And it's also live on Kickstarter, so that's pretty much the crux of it. So check it out, and we're still going to keep the contest rolling. I just have Game Toppers featured right now, but we're going to have Pitch Storm coming up from Skybound Games is going to be up, stuff like that. So we do have some other stuff and some giveaways from the Twist Gaming guys are giving us some stuff too. So it's pretty cool stuff going on. And who knows, you might get a crappy old game from Asdrúbal. So we'll see about that. So
they're all great.
They're all great. So we'll see you next time. Have fun when you game all night.